Hello and greetings to the Wolverhampton and Shrewsbury districts from the Methodist Conference meeting in Birmingham, where we've gathered together as God's people to reflect on the life and the health and the vitality of the Methodist connection.
Hello, I'm Jill Baker. At the moment I'm the Vice President of the Methodist Conference. That all began just a few days ago, and that will last for the year until next year. It's a special pleasure to greet the Wolverhampton and Shrewsbury district because that is my home district. I was born and brought up in Codsall and still have friends and lots of happy associations with the district. I think I'll be coming to Codsall's 50th anniversary in October, which will be special because I remember when the new church was opened 50 years ago. Of course, I was very young then. So this conference has been for me very different from any that I've attended before because of the role of being Vice President, and sitting in Wesley's chair really focuses the mind on the agenda. But it's been a huge privilege, actually, just a huge privilege from beginning to end. The worship last weekend with those sort of set pieces which somehow do set the tone for conference, and working alongside Lorraine Mellor, who's the President this year, and the theme that we've chosen together, day by day, exploring the rhythm of mission and discipleship, really excites us both, and I kind of feel that it's excited the conference too. It's very accessible. It's just talking about what we all do day by day in our discipleship, in our mission. And so I hope that as we travel around the Connection this year, and as others who've been at conference take something of that theme home with them, there will be a deepening of our faith and a venturing out in our mission.
Now, many people will know who you are, but for those who don't, can you introduce yourself, please?
Thank you very much. My name is Samuel Kainamura. I am Bishop of the Free Methodist Church in Rwanda. And the Free Methodist Church in Rwanda is very delighted to partner with Wolverhampton Shrewsbury District.
And we've been sitting together all week, haven't we, in the conference?
Yes, as part of Wolverhampton District.
And Bishop Samuel, what has been the highlight of your conference?
The main item for me was the growth plan of the church. And from my experience in Rwanda, we are working hard on discipleship. And in a 10 years strategic plan, we have what we call Decade of Harvest, where we encourage each member to bring another member so that in 10 years ahead we will multiply our membership.
Right, so it's a sort of each one bring one.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that was a story we felt we could receive from you as a gift. So
All
thank
right.
you very much for that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sunday was an amazing day, a mixture of nerves and excitement, but also anticipation. Reception to full connection in the morning was fantastic. The affirmation from my sisters and brothers within the church was just the best thing. And despite the nerves and despite worrying about whether I was going to trip up or go the right way or do all that, that all went well. And I just went back afterwards after that and just back into our room where we'd been meeting before and leapt for joy. And then the ordination in the afternoon, to be surrounded by so many friends and family and loved ones, it was just brilliant. And those words, when the congregation sort of shouted out, "They are worthy," was the best moment ever. So I'm thankful for the church, but I'm excited and still joyful, still smiling and wanting to move on.
Hi, I'm Beatrice Cloke and I'm Synod Secretary. We're at conference at the moment, and it's going very well. We're getting a little bit behind as usual, but in general terms it's going well. There have been some good debates so far. I wonder what challenges I'm finding in conference. Well, I think the biggest challenge is the one that's about to happen, which is workshops considering union between the Methodist Church and the Church of England, and it's quite hard going. But we're dividing into groups, so I'm looking forward to it really. I get really excited to come to conference because I know such a lot of people now, and I meet people and I catch up with what they're doing and what their churches are doing, and I find so much vibrancy within the Methodist Church. They tell us we're declining. Yes, we might agree with that numerically, but there's a lot of good work going on in our church. I don't know what I'm going to take away from this conference yet, but that will come. I've had a wonderful weekend when we went to James Eaton Challinor's ordination service, which followed on him being accepted into full connection, and it was a wonderful, joyful occasion. James smiled his way through the whole thing. He was so happy to be an ordained presbyter in the Methodist Church.
Hello, my name is Nathan Falla, and I'm a Methodist minister stationed in the Stafford Circuit to the north of the Wolverhampton and Shrewsbury district. This is my first time as a conference rep, and it's a real privilege to be here in Birmingham, to be part of the conferring process that is the Methodist Church. It's been exciting as we have met in worship. We have made some really important decisions that are going to impact the life of our church. One of the most important things has come out of the past cases review on safeguarding this year, and has seen the final part of the implementation group, and it's really calling for a change in culture within the Methodist Church, recognising that saying sorry back in 2015 is not enough, and we need to take safeguarding seriously, because as a Methodist Church we are family, and yesterday, which was Monday, I had the privilege of addressing a conference on the gift that is Connexionalism, the fact that we are all connected, that we are a family, and that is something that we need to really grasp once more, because that will help us to make the really difficult decisions that we need to make. On Saturday, in the opening address to conference, the President, Rev Falla, challenged us to take risks. She challenged us to either have a plan for growth or to have a plan for palliative care. We need to wake up, and the President's address to conference, I think, has given the Methodist Church the kick up the bottom that it really needs.
Hello, I'm Rachel and I'm Chair of the Wolverhampton and Shrewsbury District. And this is my first conference, not just first conference as District Chair, but first conference as a representative. I've been here and been involved before in organising worship, but this is the first time I've sat behind the desks and contributed to the business. And I think the thing that's most delighted me is that I thought I might be too nervous to get up and speak at the Tribune, but there have been a number of matters that I felt passionately about that I've been able to speak to, and it's felt really good to be able to contribute in that way. I think there's two stories that I really remember and spoke to me that I'd quickly want to share with you. And one was a story from the Reverend Stephen Poxon, who's a minister in Tottenham, and he was talking about equality, diversity and inclusion, and particularly the racial justice agenda. And he was saying how the Methodist Church really embraced racial justice and tackled it from very early on, but that there is still further to go. And he spoke about members of his Ghanaian congregation who had given him a gift. It took him a while to unwrap this gift, but when he did, it was a set of beautiful hand-tailored Ghanaian clothes, one for him and one for his wife Myrtle. And he talked about putting on these clothes of glorious righteousness as we accept the gift of diversity of all God's people. And he urged the Methodist Church to do that, and that's something I remember and I want to really take home to the district and ensure that we are really accepting of the gifts of all people, accepting everybody's contributions. The second is related because I was at the Beckley lecture where His Grace Bishop Angelos of the Coptic Church in the UK, he was speaking about religious freedom. But he said a very powerful thing in terms of, you can't be a one-day-a-week Christian. You can't go through all the week, Monday to Saturday, and then on Sunday put on the clothes of righteousness. That link with clothes again. It's got to be a day-by-day activity, which of course links with the address and theme of the President and Vice President. We have to be day-by-day Christians, not once-a-week Christians.